everybody, Paloma here, and welcome to another video in Paloma's Bellydance. I think it would be a good idea to show you some basic belly dance posture before beginning any of the actual dance movements. And the reason for this is, one, it frames your body. So having nice posture and proper posture will frame all of your dance, which leads into the second reason, which is aesthetics. So the more you learn to properly frame your body, the more beauty you're adding to your movements, the nicer they will look. And three, very, very important, is safety, protecting your body. So the proper belly dance posture not only looks really lovely, but it will also help to protect your back especially, as well as your knees, which you only get one of them, so you don't want to go unnecessarily harming them. And proper posture will help ensure that you can dance for many years to come. Another benefit to having proper dance posture is that from the moment you're starting your dance, you get a whole body awareness, which you hope to maintain throughout your dance. And you'll see that the more you practice this, the more you just naturally become aware of your body all the time, which is a really nice skill to bring out even outside of the dance world, just in your everyday movements, for a little bit added elegance, for balance. You're just more aware of how your body is standing, where your center of gravity is. So again, it's really lovely for the dance, but it's a very helpful skill just in general to have. Now I'm going to show you the basic belly dance posture, but there's more than one, and they don't differ too much. The core elements are the same. What changes, and if you look up different belly dances, you'll see it's really mostly a positioning of arms or legs. But we're going to start with what your basic posture is, and then you can play around and move your arms and legs in slightly different ways to try different openings. So one thing to keep in mind for good posture is you always want to think of drawing your body upwards, while at the same time where your hips going down, especially towards your feet, are being very grounded. So it's almost like you're pulling your body in two polar opposites. As you go up, you're expanding your body, which is going to create a really beautiful canvas to frame your dance. But bringing your gravity down, bringing your weight down through your hips and legs down to your feet is what's going to center you and keep you balanced so you don't teeter-totter and topple over while you're dancing. So what you want to start with is bringing your feet just a little bit apart, typically no more than your hips width apart. You don't want to start off too strongly unless if that's a specific move you're going for. You can have them closer. Sometimes, again, depending on the move you're doing, you can bring them closer, but your basic belly dance posture is your feet ever so slightly apart, basically just from your hips down. It's going to help center you really nicely for whatever movement you would like to begin with. And then from there, what you're going to do is take a deep breath. Okay. What happens when you breathe in deeply is your body naturally rises. So you're going to use that natural rising body with a big breath to bring your body to where you want it to. And as you're breathing out, you're going to settle your body into its position, but that's going to already relax it into that. So with a big breath, allow your head to stay up, your chest to stay raised up. You want to have this nice open posture. If you stay down, you're already closing off the range of your movements, and it doesn't look as nice. So really bring everything up, bring your head up, keep your chest up. As you breathe out, allow your shoulders to roll back. So you're going to get a nice rolling back. As your shoulders roll back, allow your arms to naturally sway and then bring them to a slight curve. framing your hips, because that's going to create a really nice look, and it's going to help accentuate your hips even more when you move. So you want to frame your hips, and that being said, you want energy in your arms and in your hands. You don't just want to breathe them and then have them just flop to the side, right? So everything has energy in it. Your head, your chest, now your rolled back shoulders, your arms framing your hips, and there's energy in your hands. Your hands are ready to move. After that, you want to focus on bringing your tailbone down, and this is really key because often it's tempting to want to create that curve because you think that looks really nice, and well, in certain ways it can look nice. When you start doing different hip movements, I already heard a crack in my back, you can really pull some muscles by doing that in not a very good way. So you want to protect your back by making sure that you're putting that down. So you can literally, I find it easy if you put your hands right on your tailbone and push down. Feel your tailbone going down, and that's how you want it to stay while you're dancing. So be cautious as you're dancing not to start curving yourself. Keep everything down. And part of what will help you to keep everything down is having a slight bend to your knees. There's different movements that will allow you to start bending more and more, but just for your basic belly dance posture, a slight bend to your knees, which will naturally help you to bring your tailbone down. So, from the beginning with a big breath, and from the side, and basically you're ready to dance now. So here's a really nice tip for posture that I learned particularly while dancing with my Chinese dance group. In classical Chinese, you'll notice that dancers look like they're floating and they're just constantly being pulled upwards, and they carry this again even outside of their dancing. So it's just a really nice way to have beautiful posture all the time. And what that is along with, as I said, keeping your head and chest up, a way to really help visualize where your head should be is keeping your chin parallel to your collarbone. So it's the difference between having this kind of straight posture and being aware of having your chin match your collarbone. It can feel a little bit strange at first, but as you get used to it, you'll see just by naturally bringing your chin back to your collarbone will pull your back and your shoulders into a naturally comfortable but framed position. So it's actually quite comfortable after, and it automatically, let me give you a look from the side, it automatically pulls you up to where you want to be, and especially in dance, this will keep you nice and open so that your audience can get a really lovely view of everything that you're doing. It's going to help protect your body. So another thing that I hope will be helpful for you, it's been for me as I tend to think very visually, is I visualize what's happening while I prepare my posture. And what I think about is, being the flower-loving person that I am, I like to think of myself as a flower, especially when I'm dancing. So in the same way that a flower will open up and awaken from the nighttime when the sun goes up and it follows the sun wherever it goes, think of your head and chest as rising up to the sun, and wherever the sun goes, you're being led by it, which will often mean you're leading your movements with your heart, with your core. I'll get more into this when we start practicing some movements, but it's just, but I just want to get you to start visualizing that a lot of the essence of your movement is coming from this area, your heart and your core, because it's what's leading your movements. And I like to think of it as following the sun as it goes. The other part to that metaphor though is continuing with being a flower. You have, or like any plant, you have your roots going deep into the ground, and that's the earthiness of belly dance. So while from your chest and head up, you're being drawn upward, from your hips down, you're pushing your center of gravity down into the earth. Your feet should feel the weight of your body. So it takes a little bit of practice, but pushing your upper body upwards and keeping your center of gravity down. And that's going to give you really beautiful earthy movements. And also, as I mentioned earlier, help you to keep your balance. So when you're doing a move, you don't just kind of totter forward, but your weight is always really deep on both feet or on one foot as needed. But you'll learn more about that as we practice some techniques in later videos. But just keep that visualization in mind if you find that it helps you. Be a flower, have your core in your head, following the sun upwards, and have your roots deep into the earth for your center of gravity. My final tip is going back to what you do when you start your dance position with a big breath. Throughout your dance, keep breathing deeply. It's really easy to get caught up in the technique, especially when you're really concentrated and trying to learn something or getting through a choreography. It's easy to start holding your breath and you don't even realize it. But the moment you start holding your breath and you're prolonging that, your body starts to tense up because you're not giving it anything to work with. So try to be conscious of not just what your body is, but that you're conscious of bringing air into your lungs. And you'll find as you're dancing, it's going to relax your body. You're going to have a wider range of motion as you do that as well. So just be mindful of constant breathing, deep breaths, and that will really help add some beauty into your dance moves as well. Now, without further ado, let's get into a little bit of practice for you to get used to getting your body into a basic belly dance posture.
Let's breathe up. Let's focus on breathing first. Deep breaths. As you breathe, think of letting your body rise and fall. All right, let's try to be conscious of where we're going to leave our head. Try to breathe up, and as you breathe back out, try not to let your head just fall again. Now, after you've left your head and chest up, let's focus on rolling back your shoulders, letting your arms follow and letting them stay in place to frame your hips. Remember to have energy in your arms. Don't let them just roll back and flop. You don't want them just standing there. You want them to create a shape. There's life in them. This is what it looks like from the side. All right, remember, we want to keep our tailbone down. So, next we're going to do is focus on bringing that down. That's going to be a natural bend to do this. You can kind of see that movement when the tailbone comes down. See my tummy come in a bit more. from the side. You can see that movement. Once more, keep your legs a little bit apart. And like this, you're ready.
I hope you enjoyed this video on learning some basic belly dance posture. I hope it helps you. And if you enjoyed this or think somebody else might, please feel free to like and share, and certainly leave me a comment as well. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you in the next one.